r/AskReddit. What is the most useless fact you know? The only endorsement Elvis Presley ever did was for a donut shop that he loved. He made the appearance at just 19 years old in 1954 when he was relatively unknown. Not only was this the only endorsement he ever did, but his compensation for it was a box of hot glazed donuts from the shop. Totally worth it? Opens box of donuts. Oh mama. Johnny Bravo intensifies. Cookie Monster's real name is Sid. He said useless. He said useless. There is term called the term paraprostokian. A figure of speech in which the latter part of a phrase is surprising in a way that causes the reader or listener to reinterpret the first part. An example would be Mitch Hedberg's famous one-liner, "I haven't slept for 10 days, because that would be too long." I firmly believe that women should stop having kids after 30 because that's too many. Snakes can get malaria. Another random snake-related fact. A 40-acre Montana fire was caused by a hawk landing on power lines while clutching a large snake. The wriggling snake touched a second power line, completing the circuit and electrocuting both animals with up to 700,000 volts. I think the snake knew this kills the bird. A Pyrrhic victory is still a victory. But can they get hard? Only the elusive trouser snake. Michael J. Fox's middle name is Andrew. John Drew. Anjeru. J for jitters or what? I'm reluctantly upvoting you. I'm beginning to suspect his real name is not Michael J. Fox. Michael Fox and Michael A. Fox were already registered SAG names. Michael, a Fox. Michael Keaton's name is actually Michael Douglas, but that name was obviously already registered. In WW2 the British trained seagulls to POO on enemy periscopes before realizing that seagulls could not fly far enough out to sea for this to be useful. They could POO from planes themselves, why bother the seagulls SMH? They didn't eat much at that time. This reminds me of bat bombs. They were an experimental weapon tested in WW2 where they would drop a bomb full of Mexican free-tailed bats that each had an incendiary bomb attached. Some of the shit we came up with during WW2. Funnily enough, the bat bomb was considered an effective weapon experimentally, and they were planning to put it into action. But the Manhattan Project reached its maturity first, and the first atomic bombs got dropped instead. Not only was the bat bomb considered effective, it was so effective that it burnt down not only the test range it was supposed to hit, but also part of the base itself. Bees generate electricity because their wing flapping is so fast. They can use this to tell if a flower has been landed on by another bee already due at its electric charge. Bees are electric-type Pokemon. Finally, I've long searched for a possible Pokemon type for those bugs. Edit, if you can't recognize sarcasm I feel bad for you son, I've got 99 problems and type knowledge ain't one. The Shrek cast didn't meet till the movie was finished. Shrek was also used as a Gulag-esque punishment of sorts for people at DreamWorks who didn't do well enough while working on The Prince of Egypt. They called the act Getting Shreked, which I suspect any unknowing fans of early 2010s memes in this thread will enjoy. Edit, my original comment left out some of the context that all good humans of correct and decent temperament desire. You can find some more about the story here. A Google search for Getting Shreked returns a couple of interesting articles as well. You better check yourself before you Shrek yourself. Cockroaches are like us, in a way. When you touch a cockroach, it will go wash itself. But why do they like getting touched though? They're perverts. Like us in many ways. Roaches are thigmotropic, meaning they like to feel pressure, preferably on all sides. It's why they tend to live in walls and cracks. It's a safety mechanism for them. So they like being touched in a certain sense. Source, am a pest control specialist. Women blink more often than men. They also have more babies than men. I had a baby after I read this, goddammit. I blinked after I read this, goddammit. That implies, you gubby. Why are you gubby? Eels actually have two jaws. The first being like a normal jaw, the second being hidden in their throat. The secondary jaw lunges forward when the eel bites down on prey, bites down on the piece within the mouth and bites a chunk out of it, pulling it down the throat. Think about the alien in the movie Alien. The secondary mini-mouth they use is based off an eel's anatomy. When the jaws open wide, and there's more jaws inside, that's a moray. When the fish that you feel's not a fish but an eel, that's a moray. When an eel bites your hand and it's not what you planned, that's a moray. When you swim near a reef, bit by two sets of teeth, that's a moray. Put your hand in the crack, and you won't get it back. From a moray. I still have a Windows XP Service Pack 1 acceptable CD key memorized. BCX44G46Y6XBWTV8QKHB2VXJP. I still have my old internet password memorized, not quite as useless or long, but 485E545R6U48. Cool. Mind if I use this password for my personal use? I find Margaret Thatcher is 110% sexy too long to type. The main zoological difference between big cats and small cats is a small bone in the throat of cats that allows them to either roar or purr. Big cats have a flexible hyoid bone, allowing them to roar, and small cats have a hard, ossified hyoid bone allowing them to purr. Edit. To address all the questions in the replies, while I do love cats, I am by no means an expert on big cats, felid genetics, felid anatomy, or felids in general. This is just a useless fact I know. In this sense, cheetahs are classified as small cats because they don't have the ability to roar. Very cute, smiley face. Same with pumas, I believe. Oh, yeah. They just fucking scream like a murder victim. I'd prefer they roared. They are mockingly mimicking humans. Human, Puma, If your entire body healed as fast as your tongue, you would starve to death. I need an explanation. Using up all the nutrients, yo. All I see is an unethical life pro tip. Want to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight but eat whatever the fuck you want? Rip out your tongue. You'd have to eat around 1,888,000 pieces of paper to reach your daily 2,000 calories. What kind of dimensions too? I need to know this. Is it 18x18 or what? Who the fuck uses 18 times 18 paper? Cows kill more people each year than sharks and alligators combined. Makes sense. Probably really uncommon for cows to be swimming in the ocean, so it is unlikely that they'd ever have the opportunity to kill a shark. Incidentally, there are a lot of cows raised in Hawaii, so if they had an uprising, they could make their way into the ocean to murder some sharks. A study of 10,000 pugs found the gene pool diversity was only made up from 50. Your username makes me chuckle but also sad. There shall never be a long-face pug. I feel like at this point this is known, but you know that stinging feeling you get in your tongue when eating pineapple? That is because pineapple contains a certain chemical that digests meat. So basically when you eat pineapples they eat you back. The enzyme bromelain, to be precise. Fellas, is it gay to eat pineapple? At the end of the day, you're eating that bromelain. And ever noticed how canned pineapple or pineapple on pizza doesn't do this? The enzyme responsible for this effect, bromelain, is inactivated by heat. So only fresh pineapples do this. This is actually an useful fact to know in the kitchen, as bromelain also digests gelatin. Therefore you cannot make a gelatin-based pineapple pudding with fresh pineapple, but you can make it with canned or otherwise cooked pineapple. I ate a full pineapple the other day, and by the end my lips were bright red and bleeding a bit at the edges. Pineapples are fantastic, would recommend. There are around 3,500 species of mosquitoes, but only about 100 will bite you. The ones that do bite are female. Females need the blood right before they lay their eggs. So when I'm getting bit at home, she is about to lay some damn eggs somewhere. WTF use and abuse. They also don't bite, they poke you with their proboscis, and then actually wait for your circulatory system to push enough blood into their bodies. This is why mosquitoes don't suck. They are also some of the most important pollinators on the planet, because, as you said, only about 100 species need blood to provide the protein they need to reproduce, the others get that protein from pollen. Also, at 3 ul a pop, it would require around 11 hours to die from anemia and blood loss if you were stranded naked on the tundra in the swarmiest swarm of mosquitoes. You're welcome for that loss of sleep. As dead bodies decay, they burp or release gases. For this reason, caskets and mausoleums need to be ventilated so that the gas can escape. If you see stains on the concrete around a mausoleum and it's not rained recently, that means it's not been properly maintained. Those stains, yeah, that's your Aunt Denora. Sometimes those things leak so bad they need to be washed out. Source: worked for Pressure Wash Company. That's also why whale carcasses are so dangerous, because as the gas builds up they might actually explode and you could be killed by dead whale organs falling from the sky. LOL.